Dr. Lisa Christiansen. And guess what? We've got Joseph Gregory. I keep saying Joseph. Joey.
Yep. Hey guys. Hey, we're at the indoor range at L&L Outdoors here in Jay, Oklahoma. So we're just going to kind of go over a few drills, utilize, because it usually out on the outdoor, I mean, it's always fun to shoot outside, but sometimes the weather doesn't permit. So sometimes that allows us to come into an indoor range. So I'm going to just show you a few things that you can do to utilize your training indoors. Okay. All right. So a little bit about this range. This is a 25-yard range. It can withstand ammo all the way up to 50 cal. However, we're not going to be shooting at 50 cal here in the indoor range, but it will extend all the way to 25 yards. 85 to 90% of all your attacks happen from 15 feet or within. So with us now self-defense training, we're going to 90% of the time we need to practice from 15 feet or within. The other 10% of the time is when we try, hey, let's measure what's the distance down our hallway in our home. What's the distance from our front porch to our vehicle? And we've got to practice those shots, because if someone breaks into your house in the middle of the night, you need to know, can I take that shot? Can I not take that shot? Just as important, you need to know what's beyond that shot. Is your kid sleeping in the next room? So, that can be a future video that we do, going through a house and kind of making you aware and things to think about. But for training purposes in an indoor range, I always like to do 90% of my training 15 feet or within, because statistically, that's where the criminal is going to attack you from. So that's where we need to prep from, okay? So just extending this out just a little bit. All right. So with that target being down there, we're going to be able to shoot. We're going to have, Lisa, we're going to have you load your firearm and make ready, and keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire. Remember, proper stance, proper grip, okay? And then what we want you to do is to get aggressive toward that target. That guy is coming to stab you. So whenever I say shooter make ready, I'm going to say, all right, shooter ready, stand by. We're going to do, I may call out 2 shots, center mass, 2 shots, center mass. I may put a time limit on it, I may not. If I put a time limit on it, then go with it. If I don't, take your time and just shoot. All right, so we're going to go ahead and load our firearm, make ready, keep our fingers off the trigger. Okay, good grip, good stance. Lean in towards your target. All right, this first go around, we're just going to do 2 shots just to get the jitters out. All right, we're going to do 2 shots center mass, no time limit. Easy on the trigger. 2 shots center mass. That's a long time, especially in gun battle. So good stance, good grip. We're going to do 3 shots, 10 seconds. Here we go. Shooter ready. Stand by. Fire. So the purpose of this drill is the first 2 shots, her first shot was here on the 9, okay? Her second shot here was in the bullseye, okay? We were getting the jitters out. I told her no time limit, but when you add a time limit on, and I highly suggest even getting like a timer, and I didn't bring my timer today, but when you add the time limit on, it puts pressure on you. So if you notice, when she didn't have any pressure on her, she was able to get 2 fairly good shots, okay? But whenever I put some pressure and I put a time limit on her, she got a little bit nervous and she missed this target, okay? You'd be surprised, people have missed someone from this far, completely missed the target, okay? So stress is a different type of shooting. So this is why we no longer are bullseye shooting. Now there's a time and place. You've got to get proper grip, proper stance, sight line, sight picture. You got to get the fundamentals, get the basics. You got to build that solid base, and then we're going to stack, and we can do all the advanced stuff later. But if you don't have a good base foundation to build off of, and everything else isn't going to come. So we're self-defense shooting now. We're no longer bullseye shooting. So what is self-defense shooting? Let me show you. So if you look at this target, if I were to put holes in this paper, how many of these would have hit me? Every one of them, right? So as long as I'm putting holes in this paper, this is going to hit a grown man. 12 by 24 silhouette, right? So don't get so frustrated that if you have bullets up here, down here, that will come with time. Just work on your fundamentals. Good stance, good grip, good trigger control, sight alignment, sight picture, easy on the trigger, and fire. Eventually, and the more you just bought this gun, literally just bought this gun today, so she's not quite used to it yet. The trigger, it's going to take a little bit of time to get comfortable with, but once she gets comfortable with it, that grip will get tighter. Once she starts getting that group really tight, and we're seeing that, then we'll put even more pressure on her, cut down the time, and have her shoot rapid fire. And that will be another course. So that's just one of the things we can do. One more thing before we go I'd like to show you is today, Lisa, you bought a flashlight. So, you know, I always carry a flashlight everywhere I go on me because if I drop something and it rolls underneath my refrigerator, I can look and see, right? However, a flashlight can have multiple things. You know, if I point this at you and stun you, sorry, David, but if I stun you, you know, it may buy me time. And that's what self-defense is all about. I gotta buy time. You know, you get to pick the time and place as the criminal, I get to be the curve. So something as simple as a flashlight, you're coming running at me with a knife or whatever, I shine that in you, temporarily blind you. That may allow me just enough time to grab my gun out and use it, or to get behind a barrier to put something between me and the attacker, or to flee and run away. So not just a flashlight, you know, other things like mace, stuff like that can help you out. You can be the best shot in the world, but if you can't see your target and properly identify it, you can't shoot it, okay? And so this is where having a flashlight's good. They make flashlights that not only you can carry in your hand, but they make flashlights that you can put on your gun, okay? I kind of like redundancy, so I have a flashlight on my gun and I have a flashlight in my pocket. So if the batteries go out on this one, I have a backup. So just kind of remember that. I want you guys to train smart, stay safe.